Delridge Homes presents West Harbour Residences, a landmark statement in luxury living. An exclusive yet uniquely crafted collection of 23 European-inspired units whose craftsmanship is only outmatched by its attention to detail. Sculpture gives way to architecture as the two meld seamlessly into Oakville's premier address.
The architecture is traditional architecture. It consists of a base, a midsection, and a top, or a crown as we call it. Starting from the base, we've incorporated a colonnade which marries the streetscape with our building and makes it seamless. It allows for interaction in patios and restaurants to be covered or protected from the elements. It marries with the architecture that we're trying to achieve.
I think what inspires me is beautiful things. I love to see great architecture. I love to see beautiful stone finishes that are really elegant and timeless. And when I think about a space, I want to make sure that that gets infused into that space.
We've incorporated something that's very typical throughout France, particularly Paris, is the Colo Maurice, which provides an avenue for advertisers. And it's such a small detail, but so important to us to bring those small details or fine details into our project to make it as authentic as we can. We've incorporated Juliet balconies, which are basically a railing in front of a door or a window in order to open and just make the outside, as it were, inside.
Well, I think when we started with the lobby, I saw the architectural renderings of the building and I thought, oh, it's classic. It has this old world feeling to it. I didn't want to create a space that has been done before. So I cleaned it up a bit. I made sure that it still had all of those elements of classic design with the architectural crown moldings, some beautiful paneling on the walls, gorgeous layout of the tiles. These are things that I saw when I saw the building itself. And then we wanted to keep the design of the lobby simple. I think the suites were designed so beautifully from an architectural perspective because they're open concept. You see so much when you walk through. You have these high ceilings, great architectural moldings. We're aspiring to the carriage trade. We want levels of finishes that are higher than expected, but still have, the longevity that you want.
Oakville, with its boutique-style shops, cafes, and fine food, appeals to a very discerning taste. And with its distinctive flair and heritage, it's very reminiscent of the inspiration for many of West Harbour Residences' European architectural cues. Green life. Green life is a way of building homes that goes beyond the ordinary to the extraordinary, by embracing new technologies that promote energy efficiency and savings. Long before anyone began the conversation on conservation, Delridge was leading the way towards creating ecologically friendly developments.
Green life is a collection of things. First of all, it's a building system. It's an attitude towards attempting sustainability. It's a philosophy about how we group everything together in order to achieve something that nobody else is doing. Green Life West Harbour is the latest in a series of Green Life buildings which will employ the latest new ideas that we have discovered from our previous endeavors. We start with a building that is constructed dramatically different than most. The average condo is glass and concrete. Ours uses a system that has 4 to 5 times the amount of insulation in it, thereby reducing the demand for energy. It has triple glazed windows. Most condos don't. It has split level lighting systems. It uses only LED and CFLs. And when the building is finished, it only requires about 20% of the norm. This is satisfied in part with geothermal technology exclusively for the building. The energy in part that is required as a result is achieved from photovoltaic arrays on the roof, thereby supplying the people who own West Harbour with their own energy. It also means that the energy that you use will then come from renewable resources such as wind and solar, some of which is located right on site. Green Life projects have a different type of landscaping. We don't employ grass because it leaves a carbon footprint when you cut it and requires fertilizers and watering. Instead, we plant trees and plants and shrubs and mulch them, and they survive on their own. In addition to that, we always cover the access ramps to our underground garages. They can use as much as 85 to 100,000 kilowatt hours a year just for snow melt. By covering them as part of the structure, that's completely eliminated. People who live in West Harbour will appreciate the energy efficiencies of a Green Life building system in several ways. Certainly, because the building is so well insulated, there are very few temperature fluctuations within the building space. In addition to that, being a condominium, the energy required to operate the condominium itself is about a quarter of what normal condominiums operate at. When a person buys a unit in a Green Life building, they are going to experience the lowest condo fees of any building in the area. They're also going to experience the lowest operational energy costs, such as utilities. They'll be lower than any other building by far. When West Harbour is complete, it will be a perfect example of sustainability and superior architecture coming together, setting an example for others to follow.
This will be a landmark for Oakville and a landmark building for Delridge.